Hey everyone, I am in shock. I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm saddened, I'm heartbroken, but I'm not surprised. I am so sorry to those that have been affected, the family members, the friends, having to watch George Floyd calling out that he can't breathe and nothing changed, watching his last moments alive. It's awful to see that our world has gotten to this. But I also tell you this, and my message to you today is, unfortunately, this is nothing new. It's a new crime. It's a new victim. It's a new murderer. It's a new person that's involved in the killing. But it's no different than what we've seen for decades, for centuries around the injustice in our society. Now, this month, we've seen George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery. That's just to name a few. There's, I'm sure, many that we haven't even talked about, that haven't hit the news, that have been swept under the rug. But I say this to you guys to remind you, we're not done yet. My sister and I were talking, and she mentioned that her son, my 2-year-old nephew, is going to grow up learning about Trayvon Martin the way that we grew up learning about the murder around Emmett Till. And essentially, although we're no longer being lynched and there are no crosses burning in my front yard like my mother grew up to seeing, there's no segregation like my ancestors and great aunts and uncles saw and grandparents saw. There's no open racism and discrimination in that aspect, but it still exists. I'm a double minority, and I can tell you I'm reminded of that every day. I'm reminded every day that I'm a Black woman. And I grew up with it, seeing it as a soccer player, where I was predominantly usually the only Black person on the field. When I started working in sports reporting, I saw it as well, as I am often the only Black and or female person covering a game in the booth, on the sidelines. It's nothing new that we are always reminded that we are a minority. But it's just finally being and more public because we have people that are recording it with their phones, that are speaking up. So I advise you, as we continue to work through this time where our entire world feels like it's been flipped upside down between the pandemic and COVID-19, the murder of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, we need to speak up and use your platform to speak up the right way. There are many ways to protest. So we see people, whether it was back when Dr. King was marching and protesting, or even today where I'm watching videos of Atlanta, New York, and Fort Wayne, Indiana, and different places around the world where people are protesting. We need to use our voices and our platforms to speak up, and it needs to be everyone. It is more imperative now than ever that regardless your race, your gender, any other thing, any other box you check for your demographic, that we all speak up together, peacefully, together, united. We should not become divided around this. This should not create a race war or anything like that. This should show everyone that we need to make change happen, because no family member should have to watch their loved one utter the words, "I can't breathe," speak their last breath, speak their last words, and die on a cell phone video. No one should have to see their loved one go out for a jog and never return home. These are things I can't even wrap my mind around. I have a Black brother, a Black brother-in-law, Black sisters, Black parents, a 2-year-old nephew that's figuring out his way in this crazy world. I don't have kids of my own, but I one day hope to. And I would love to have the next generation be raised and born into a world where they don't have to fear because of the color of their skin, or the gender, or their sexual orientation, or their socioeconomic status, that they can be free to be whoever they want to be, live in this world, have the same fair chance and opportunities to be successful, to love, and to live, most importantly. No one's life should be taken away from them because of the way they look. And I know at times I fear not only just walking outside my door, but living in my home for my life. We've seen people sitting in the comforts of their home and get their lives taken away from them. Driving in the car, you get pulled over only to never, ever see your family again. It's heart-wrenching and it needs to change. It is time to change. We should not have any more innocent deaths and murders that we have to now protest. No more someone's life being turned into a hashtag, someone's name being turned into a picture of them that's going across all news and social media outlets because they tragically were killed. There's enough to fear in this world around car accidents, sickness, around so many other things going on in the world to fear that we should not have to also fear because of the color of our skin and who we are and what we look like, which is not even fully who we are. So I advise all of you, and it pains me to even have to watch these videos play out, watching the incident play out and George Floyd's death, watching what is happening in our world. But I tell you this and say to you, as a double minority, 27 years old, 27 years of being reminded that I'm a double minority, that we need to make change happen. I no longer want to be judged because I'm Black, because I'm a woman, because I'm tall, because I played sports, because I'm a sports reporter. I want to be judged for who I am. The person that loves being goofy, watching Netflix shows, going and hanging out with my family, hanging out with my friends, aspiring to be someone that changes the world one day. That's what I want to be known for all the good I do in this world, not for who I look like and what boxes I check. So I ask you guys, as we're talking through all these conversations, it's okay to talk about it with people. It's okay to address the elephant in the room. It's time to do that. And that is why for me, my platform is being a reporter. And I actually have just launched, and the timing, I'm saddened that the timing is so great, but the timing is perfect to start talking about this with my new show, Redefining Us, that will be streaming on Facebook Live. We'll be getting into race and gender, inequality, stereotypes, because we no longer should shy away from what is right in front of us. It happens every day. Why not talk about it? It changes people's lives. It ends people's lives. Why not talk about it? So it's okay for the crime to happen, but we can't talk about what led up to it. It's time to start having the conversation. It's time to start addressing the elephant in the room. And more importantly, it's time for change. I'm Renee Washington, a concerned, ambitious, 27-year-old Black woman. I'm a double minority. I have a family that loves me. I have friends that care about me. And I don't ever want to turn into a hashtag. I'm hoping, just like you, that my life gets to be played out to the full ability of what I hope to reach. God willing, that my time on this earth is more impactful than to leave this earth on a cell phone video with my name trending as a hashtag. So please, guys, let's make change happen. The time is now. It is time to make a change. The history that we have been seeing that is repeating, whether it was my mom growing up with crosses burned on her yard, lynchings, public beatings, hoses and dogs being sprayed at protesters. Does that look any different from what we're seeing today? The crime may be different, but the shoe still fits. We're no longer marching and protesting against segregation. We're no longer marching for women's rights and racial equality. But are we? Yes, we are. We still are. What we're saying may have changed, but the root of the cause, the root of the issue is still the same. So it is time to make change happen. Slavery may no longer be around. There may not be a water fountain that tells me where I can and cannot drink. There may not be a bathroom that tells me where I can and cannot go to the bathroom. But there is still a fear being Black in America, being a woman in America. I have enough fears walking down the street at different hours of the day by myself, fearing for my life. I have enough fears of the fact that there are hereditary illnesses that run in my family, like breast cancer, like diabetes, like heart conditions. I have enough fears when I get behind the wheel that the people driving around me are paying attention and not texting or drinking or anything else that can cause them to be distracted and crash into me. I should not have to fear for my life because I'm Black. I should not have to fear for my life because I'm a Black woman. And I should be able to live on this world, and every day that I'm set foot, and every morning that I wake up and I'm fortunate to be breathing, to be who I am, who I'm destined to be, and who God has called me to be as Renee Washington. So please, guys, let's speak up. Let's get to know each other. Let's connect. Let's start to see each other as humans, not as just what we look like and what we wear and how many likes we have and how many followers we have and what job we have. Let's see each other as I'm a sister, I'm a daughter, I'm an aunt, I'm a soccer coach, I'm a sports reporter. I am many things. I am human. Be safe, be blessed, and God bless all of you. I'll talk to you more soon.